And we are live. All right, that was weird. What is going on, everybody? Michael here. Not my usual environment. Oh, actually, it kind of is. But welcome back, everyone, to a special live episode of Technoid. I am, of course, your gracious, ever happy host. I hope that all of you can join me today and we stay through because I got a lot of news to talk about in terms of Metro and T-Mobile. I will hopefully be getting a few people in to discuss this matter. I'll be sending the link out shortly after I reveal the news. I definitely want to get some reaction. But before we start, I just want to announce that this will be the last time that you see me be using these headphones. Also, I don't know if this microphone is working, but this will be the last time you'll see me because I will be using my lapel microphone that I use for all my videos. It came with a spare, so I'm going to use the spare and I'm going to use it for the future doing audio podcasts on this format. So I see we've got people joining in. It seems we've got everybody going. So without further ado, let us see who we have in the live stream. We've got Gene. Gene is in the house. Caleb, yeah. Caleb's in the house. Red Rum is in the house. Okay, I just got to say this right now, Caleb. I love you, man. I love your scallops, coffee stories. But I got to be honest, man. This is about the only thing I know you say. Yeah. Come on now, Caleb. You got to get a new catchphrase. I'm just messing. I love you, Caleb. You're a great dude. No homo. But all right. Let's get right to it. So the way this is going to work today, I'm going to explain the story. I'm going to explain originally what I was going to do. But I'm also going to give my evidence and my personal opinion. Now, this is an opinion-based video, but I will show some evidence to back up the claim in what I believe. Now, of course, this is not factual, my opinion, and I want to just say right now, and I'm making a notice, I don't want you guys to say this is a factual, this is the evidence that I have are factual, but my claim is not factual. It's just my opinion, but I will hope to back it up should you guys feel the need. So enough talking, enough of that. Let's get right to the video. So let's take a quick rewind while I pull up the documents. Let's take a quick rewind to the first T-Mobile video that I made with the help of Carlos S. Tech, who, by the way, has been a very, very good, reliable source. The way I will explain that, how we do this, how we're approaching this, I'll explain as we go along. But the first video was this one, T-Mobile, bad news coming for Metro customers. So basically in that video, I talked about how T-Mobile was going to screw a bunch of their Metro employees and customers. I kind of forgot what it was about, but I remember a lot of people wanted more. They were like, can you give us more information? So after talking with Los, I made the follow-up video with No More Netflix on Us. Again, another opinion video, but with facts to back up the claim. Then I gave an update on the Metro situation, and then I started getting comments from Metro dealers. Flash forward a few episodes later, and this is the most recent one, even bad news for T-Mobile customers, but things were also starting to get worse for Metro as well. So the whole common theme of these episodes that I really wanted to focus on and really give people the idea is that T-Mobile is neglecting Metro by T-Mobile. They are neglecting the employees, they are neglecting the customers, and most of all, they're just neglecting their own prepaid service. And that's a bad move because Metro in the beginning, it was very good. Metro in the beginning when they got the merger with John Ledger. Now, everybody always says, well, John Ledger's no longer, it's this. That's a fact. So the truth of Metro, that's a fact. Now, I am posting the link out to the people that anybody wants to join. So I hope that we can get a few people in here while I announce the story. But the whole gist of this and what I want to get to is basically T-Mobile is now going a step beyond and basically trying to lure Metro customers and trying to get rid of Metro. Now, this is where my claim comes in. I believe they're trying to phase Metro out and they want to make T-Mobile just its own thing. Now, here's my first evidence. I'm pulling up the document here. I'm going to share the screen, and I hope that you guys can see. Here's evidence number one. So I'm going to pull it up in this full screen. I'll zoom in. So taking a look at the first evidence, you're probably saying, what is this? Now, of course, all this was provided by Carlos S. Tech. So all of the news that you see in here is from Carlos S. Tech. There is no way for me to go sideways with this, so it's going to be hard to see. But if we take a look, starting on October 1st, which was before, new customers and existing customers who sign up for autopay services under the T-Mobile account will now be able to get 2 lines for $70. Now, at first glance, you're probably saying, well, what is this about? Man, there's something going on with my throat. Don't worry, I don't have corona. Well, after reading documents, and I'm going to lay them all out. This is all of the evidence that I have thanks to Carlos S. Tech. And again, we are keeping the source anonymous. We do not want to reveal the privacy. That's why we're using Los as the source. But anyway, basically, this is a luring mechanism that T-Mobile is doing for Metro customers, not only to switch away from Metro, but to try to persuade them to just get rid of their Metro deal and swap over to T-Mobile. Now, the one thing that was circled here was provided by Carlos. Mobile experts should sign the customers up for autopay as part of the activation process. And basically what that means is now they're forcing customers, they're literally forcing their employees, should anyone merge from Metro to T-Mobile, they're literally forcing them to automatically sign them up for autopay whether they want to or not. Now on the surface you're saying, well, that sounds like a good deal. Well, after taking a further look, that's actually the farthest, because even though it gives you a discount, most Metro customers, from my knowledge, don't automatically sign up for autopay until they get comfortable. And most people are not comfortable doing autopay from the start unless they've taken time. So it's literally them forcing. They're forcing customers to do this to save money, to equivalent to what they could get with Metro. Now, the whole idea with Metro is to save customers money, to people that cannot afford the bigger carriers but don't want to underline the performance. Well, even though Metro works under the T-Mobile brand, it utilizes its technology, its spectrum, and bandwidth. And the problem that I'm having with this story is that this is not the case, because now they're trying to get rid of their own people from their own prepaid. And now I have evidence number 2, which is the autopay FAQ. So I'm going to pull up this next piece of evidence, and we will take a look at it. So here is evidence number 2. This is another document, which is basically the general systems FAQ. Now, of course, this explains how customers and stuff will be notified, all the information. But notice at the top here, T-Mobile and Metro. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, what does this have to do versus all the words on this paper? Well, after digging through and reading this, this again backs up what I stated earlier. This is for customers trying to be persuaded and switched from Metro. Even though they're mentioning Metro right here in the same breath, they're trying to use this as a ploy to get rid of Metro, and convince them to switch over to T-Mobile. So taking a look at these FAQs, while they definitely have a lot of information, especially for customers that sign up, it's really just a ploy just to get them off of Metro. Here is the third evidence, evidence number 3. Again, another system showing how to set it up. Now, of course, they do mention the My Metro app, but the thing is that this is only for Metro plans. This plan that we're talking about, the 2 lines for $70, is only for T-Mobile for should you switch if you're on Metro. Now, of course, it does go into details should you want to make withdrawals and things like that. But I hope you guys are starting to see the pattern, and I'm pulling up as much as I can. Now let's get to the plan. Let's get to the part that really is the bread and butter. This document here about the autopay for the 2 lines. So it says it right here in this. I'm going to try to zoom in and see where I can find it, should I find it. Now, of course, the first thing you're going to see is this says it right here. There is a new line requirement for this rate plan. Once a new line is added, an existing customer can move their rate plan and add autopay and receive the discount. Right there in the title, existing customer and new line. Basically indicating that should anyone switch from Metro or T-Mobile regardless, they're going to have to create a new account, which is automatically what they're trying to do. They're trying to get these people to get onto the system. Now, again, it goes into more details about the plan. It talks about auto pay and things like that. They're really pushing the auto pay, which kind of shows they can't even afford to give people the proper discount. But the whole gist of this, and I get it, it's not really convincing, guys. And I understand if a lot of people are doubting what I have to say here, and you're probably saying it's not enough. But basically, I'm going to explain what happens with them doing this. And the whole fallout of this is that not only are they trying to make auto pay standard as a way of getting a discount, but they're really just trying to get people to switch away from the prepaid. Now, of course, a lot of people would say that postpaid is better. A lot of people would say that it definitely helps, but there's a problem. We're talking about T-Mobile here. T-Mobile's performance in the last year has been so terrible. They can barely handle the network congestions. T-Mobile has, in my opinion, the worst performance I've ever seen from a wireless company, in my opinion. We switched from T-Mobile to Verizon. Not only have we been very happy with the service, we're not looking to switch back. It's so much better. You could visibly see the difference once you switch and you try it out for yourself. But taking a look at this ploy and taking a look at what they're doing to Metro dealers, taking a look at what they're doing to customers, all the news stories that I've talked about, basically all that this means is that they're trying to get these customers away from Metro and try to get them onto T-Mobile. Now, some people would say, but wait a minute. If they're doing so terrible, if they're doing so bad as you say, then why would they want to switch their customers from Metro to T-Mobile? Wouldn't it be the opposite? Well, there's another factor that goes into this. I don't know if you guys are very familiar, but there's a deal with Amazon Prime. You get Amazon Prime included with Metro by T-Mobile. Great value, very good. But the thing is, T-Mobile doesn't have the money. I don't know if anybody knows this, but T-Mobile does not have the capital or the money for their networks, for their signal towers. They haven't invested it right. And right now, they're looking to get as much money as possible. So by not only switching the customers, by not only get rid of the Metro stores and the employees and everything, you've not only tried to take as much money as you can, but on top of that, on top of taking all that money, you eliminate the deal you had with Amazon or degrade the deal to making it a year for free and then make them pay and then get a percentage out of that. Those are possibilities. Those aren't factual, but these are possibilities of what they're doing. But the thing that also makes me very, very questionable, or makes me question why they're trying to switch these customers, goes back to really where my first video started with the dealers. Because as you know, there's a big thing going on. They're neglecting the stores. They're neglecting the dealers. They're neglecting and trying to get a lot of people away from the stores, because it seems, from what I'm being told, they're trying to make these stores fail so they can close them and they can reopen them as T-Mobile stores. Now, I wish that were not true. I don't wish to see any employees get fired. I don't like that idea of employees, losing their job. But that is the reality of the situation. That is really where we're at. That is kind of where we sit with this whole T-Mobile situation. Not only are they trying to switch these customers and get them off the network for Metro to also use up, customer congestion, they're trying to now take away the business and possibly just phase it out, because it doesn't seem they have any interest of wanting to keep Metro in the circle. And again, if I'm wrong here, somebody point it out, because I've seen the evidence. I've covered these many times. And the more I cover them, the more I get pissed off at T-Mobile, because, again, they're neglecting their prepaid. Now, a lot of you are probably saying, okay, you pose your argument, but can you really confirm anything? How do you know that this is not speculation, or how do I know you're telling the truth? Well, for starters, the sourcer that provides me this, Carlos S. Tech, he's the one that tells me everything to report to you guys. He is the one being looked at by T-Mobile, trying to figure out what's going on. So if anybody's going to give me reliable source and information that is true, I'm going to him. Because not only is he 100% reliable, he's never been wrong, He showed me the documents. He showed me everything. So I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it at all. And I don't think you guys should doubt it too. You know, a lot of people argue and say that you're wrong for believing in other people. Some people say you shouldn't believe anything you hear. Well, if that were the case, then why did these dealers message me in my last video, which is what I'm pulling up now? Why did they message me literally frustrated and confirming everything that I discussed? Because I'm pulling up the comments as we speak. While you take a look at this document, I'm going to show you the comments from the video. I'm going to show you what they've said to me. Now, of course, these are just opinion comments. These aren't really factual, but these are from people that work. These are people that are literal employees. Some of them even Metro. Now, of course, you can believe what you want. You can say what you like. But this is it. So here we go. I'm pulling up my video and I'm going to show you guys. So here it is. Let me share the screen real quick and we'll take a look at the comments ourselves. We'll take a look together. Here's the first one. I work for Metro by T-Mobile, and I can tell you these new price changes are hurting us customer-wise, far as upgrades every 6 months instead of 3 months. So I explained, I said I was sorry, and it's truly a shame what they are doing. Of course, you appreciate it. Then someone says they'll pay the price when they lose over half their customers by doing away with prepaid. As the employees losing their job, well, obviously he doesn't concern it as much as those jobs are usually part and barely pay above minimum wage. Well, of course, that's the regular. But that is one employee speaking out, literally putting his concern and showing that this is a real issue. This is legitimately a thing. This is what they're doing. They're not playing fair. And a lot of the people in the stores are suffering because of it. They're losing their customers. They're losing everything they have. And now hearing that from one person, it kind of shows. Now let's take a look at my other video. Let's find another comment. I'm going to pull it up as best as I can. Of course, a lot of these videos, like I said, sometimes they take them down because they're afraid for them losing their job. People are afraid. At least to soften the blow, they said in the next comment, he at least said that starting Friday, they were going to waive activation fees, and for a limited time, new activation fees were waived. So it does seem nice that they're trying to get some things going. But ultimately, a lot of people from this next video that I'm showing you, with T-Mobile stopping the Netflix on us, a lot of people were upset. They were really concerned. They're like, where's the value? Where's the proposition? But going back to what I said about Metro, the fact that an employee is speaking out. Now, there was an earlier comment from a Metro owner. Unfortunately, he's not available. The comment was taken down. It seems that he was afraid, or maybe he just took it back out of, privacy. He didn't want people to, he probably didn't want his job at risk. And I understand, if that's why he took it down. But the comment read, as a store owner, and this is paraphrasing, it's terrible. It's terrible. We cannot service these customers. It's almost like they're being driven away. And then 2 days later, the comment's gone. So I don't know what they're hiding. I don't know. Maybe he's just afraid to keep his job, or whatever the case is. I'm not blaming him if he wants to speak out, whoever this person is. It's a very delicate situation. And the reason I'm spending so much time on this one segment is because I really want to emphasize just how severe the situation is becoming. Possibly how bad the situation might become if things do not change. You're going to see a lot of employees get fired. That's a fact. A lot of employees are going to be gone. Nobody's going to stay with them. T-Mobile probably won't rehire them. If they do, they'll be lucky enough. But you could see Metro stores are going to get closed. You could see T-Mobile taking in and saying, we're going to use it. We're going to use the property. And the next thing you know, T-Mobile's probably going to try to sweeten the deal. They're going to try to say, we're giving you more We're giving you a lot. But it's hard. It's really hard, guys. Because as I cover this, I think of the people that might possibly lose their job should T-Mobile phase out Metro. Now, of course, they have released on their website, which is what I'm pulling up with Metro by T-Mobile. I'm pulling up here. They're trying to, from what I can see, they're trying to sweeten up the deal. They're trying to offer more as if they care. But the problem with this philosophy is that, again, they're now making it easier for people to take advantage of these lines, but get them over to T-Mobile. And look at this. During congestion, Metro users using above 35 gigabytes may notice reduced speeds, and customers may notice reduced speeds versus T-Mobile customers due to prioritization. So literally, they're telling you right here that you can expect worse performance versus a T-Mobile customer on prioritization. Now, obviously, we all know about unlimited data. We know exactly how that works. But it's right there in clear black text that they're telling you a reason to switch anyway. Now, some people will say, oh, no, that's just a disclaimer. Just by the way they worded it, just by the way they made it sound, makes you think Metro is not good. And I don't know if maybe I'm not saying enough, maybe I'm just being opinion enough. I don't know what else to say to convince people if you don't believe me. And I'm not trying to make you sit here and look at T-Mobile in any bad way. If you want to look at T-Mobile, look at it as you say. And here's what Gene says. Gene wrote, I have a friend who owns a Metro store, and he's very frustrated with T-Mobile as to what's going on. And he says if they don't change, he's closing the store. See, that's very, very sad. I cannot believe that the conditions are bad. And I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? I want to hear what people say in the live chat. Now I'm going to take a look. Tito, good to see you. Ciphering Metro customers to join postpaid, that's crazy. Yeah, it is very crazy. It is truly sad to hear that. And I don't even know what to say. That they're trying literally this hard. Now, am I over-exaggerating? Maybe a little bit. Am I taking it too far? Possibly. But there's one thing I will tell you. When it comes to customers, when it comes to consumers, I always look out for them. I never once ever look out for a company. I will never, ever look for what's in the best interest of a company. I will always look out for the best interest in the consumers because ultimately they're the ones that are paying for the service. They're the ones that are giving their money to these companies. They're giving money to people that, and basically a corporation to get the best service provided. And when you see things like this on their own website, it's unbelievable. It truly is amazing that even on their own website, even though they're trying to convince you, they put this disclaimer here, literally trying to ensue that Metro is actually worse versus a T-Mobile customer on prioritization. What else do I need to say? I don't know what else I could say. I've shown you my evidence sent to me from Carlos S. Tech. I have shown you what is on their website. Do I need anything else? Tell me, what else do you want to see? Because I stand by my claim. I think that they are trying to lure these customers onto T-Mobile, regardless of their performance, of their customers' congestions, everything. I truly believe they are trying to get these customers on, and they're trying to get rid of the Metro brand. I don't know. And I'll show you guys the documents one more time, just to back it up again. Like I said, I'll show you from the start. And then after that, we'll move on from T-Mobile. I spent almost 30 minutes talking about this. And you know what? Not a 30-minute wasted. And I'm happy I spent it on my own, showing you as much as I can, provided by Carlos S. Tech. I always urge it, because these are not my stories. These are from Carlos, and these are from the people that work inside. So here's document number 1. This is the first one. The get 2 lines for $70 with auto pay, trying to persuade customers to switch. Pete, it's good to see you on here, Pete. Hashtag merger pains, shatter T-Mobile. I don't know about shattering, but doesn't look good. All right, document number 2, coming up right now. Give you a second to take a look at it. Document number 3. Pulling it up real quick. There we go. Just exiting out here. Document number 5. And then we got one more. The next document. Here's the next one. Pause the video, take your screenshots should you want to. It's out there. I have no regrets. And lastly, document number 6. The final one. The one sent to me. All of them sent to me by Carlos S. Tech. I will leave a link to his channel. He does a lot more than just cover the news. He unboxes a lot of phones. Very good YouTuber. Very, very good. I don't know what else to say. It shows. It literally shows they are trying to make Metro fail and take the customers, take the stores, and turn them into a T-Mobile site. They need all the money they can get from the cell types, speeds, network congestions. I don't blame them for doing it, but the problems that come after, that's not good. Christian, good to see you, Christian. Thank you for joining by. So that was my claim that I think T-Mobile is phasing out Metro. Now, of course, this is all my opinion. I have shown you my evidence. I've shown you everything that I can. And if you believe me, you can believe me. If you choose not to believe me, that's fine. But I've shown you my evidence. I've shown you my claims. I've shown you my videos, all which have been provided by Carlos S. Tech. So I think that's what's going to happen. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how things go from here. Don't necessarily know where we go from there, but that's really it. All right, next story up. Let's move over to Samsung. So as you guys know, I have been making a couple of videos talking about RCS. Samsung adopting RCS. I have covered this many times. I've talked about how Samsung is going to add RCS to their phones. They've announced it. Well, in the past, those two videos, Samsung has done nothing. No attempts, nothing. Well, according to today's article, it looks like they did something because they have added RCS support for the Galaxy A50. And to that, I say, who cares? Who gives a damn if this phone got RCS? You know, it's amazing. It's amazing how you pump up Samsung because they announce it in their own press release. They announce they're going to adopt this service. They talk about it, and then they don't. And I don't understand. I don't understand why they don't want to release this thing globally. For some reason, Samsung has been releasing RCS on older devices and devices outside of the United States. Not newer ones, older ones. And I feel like an idiot for pushing RCS. I feel like an idiot giving you guys the news. Now, before I go on any further with this, I see we have a few comments. The DOJ and FCC, they should get involved. Absolutely, they should. You've been wanting to switch for a while, but we're too lazy to pull the trigger. Well, there was any time to pull the trigger, now might be the time, my man. The FCC and DOJ antitrust, they should get involved. Absolutely, they should get involved. Now, back to RCS. To Samsung, I ask, what is the holdup? Why are you not releasing this? What is it that you possibly could be doing to not release these to the Note, to the S line, that you've been releasing them on budget and mid-ranges that barely anybody uses in the United States? Why are you releasing these services to people that probably don't even have them on their own phone? Even in the title of the article, it says, the global outlook remains bleak. Even they aren't sure when you're pushing this thing. Nobody knows when you're releasing anything. I don't know when you are, and quite frankly, I feel like an idiot for pushing, saying that they will. Because you're not going to release it. If you were, you would have released it 2 years ago. Back when you announced your partnership with Google. Maybe you would have released it again 2 years later when you made your same. Now, some people say, oh, but I see RCS. That's not RCS. That's advanced messages that uses similar to RCS, but that's made because of your carrier. The fact that we have to rely on carriers to do the job, to get RCS on a Samsung phone, is unbelievable. Like, look, they still haven't enabled eSIMs on the S20 devices, and that costs almost, you know what? All I'm going to say is this. If you want RCS, download the Google Messages app. I don't give a damn if you like the Samsung Messages because it's cleaner. I don't care. Download that, go to Settings, Chat Features, turn it on, and you will get RCS. Save yourself the time of waiting, hassle, and most of all, save yourself the time. Unbelievable. And it's amazing because I covered this exact article in May of this month. We're in June, July, August, September, 5 months later, approaching 6. And this was their statement. Bringing support to Google's rich communication service to Galaxy smartphone. The two companies have been working since 2018 to bring this feature. Haven't seen crap. Haven't seen anything, Samsung. So, you better get on it. Because as of now, I'm never covering another RCS story. Nope. I'm not covering another RCS story until I see some evidence. Sorry. Won't do it. All right, moving right along, let's talk about Apple. So as you know, Apple is working on a newer Apple TV model. I've already talked about it. Now, according to the same leaker, this fudge leaker, whoever this random user is, I don't understand. Can I ask why these leakers cannot come up with a username? CocoBit? Like what? But according to CocoBit, basically saying what I was saying, because I already made this claim before anybody. I predicted that they were going to put this chip and everything. Well, according to Coco, he claims that the Apple TV set-top box will have an A12 chip and one with an A14X-like chip. These variant models will be designed for the games, Apple TV. They will be different, and most of all, will be able to take advantage some of the gaming capacities that the Apple TV can offer with Apple Arcade. Now, of course, some games will require A13 and up to run, but knowing Apple and their optimization, they will probably work around that. Now, do I believe this? Yes, because it makes sense. For starters, why would they put an A13 chip into an Apple TV? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. When the Apple TV 4K came out, they put the A10 Fusion, the last year's chip. But now we're into the A14. And the A12 is only 2 years old, but it's still just as performanceable. It's very good. So, hey, I believe it. I don't doubt it. And if they do that, I might buy me another Apple TV. Because I actually like the Apple TV. A lot of people say they don't like it, but I do. All right. Where are we in this so far news? I'm supposed to be on here for an hour. So, quickly, a disclaimer. I've already sent out the link to people in my live chat. If anybody wants to come on, you're more than welcome to. But moving right along, let's take a look at Google. So, as you know, Google came out with the Pixel 5, the Pixel devices, and a lot of people are really excited for them. I discussed about them. Well, there was one thing that I didn't know, that the Google Pixel 5 was using a technology that I didn't even know they were utilizing. And the fact that they're doing this is not only pretty impressive, but I actually got to say, I'm very curious to see how this performs. Makes me kind of want to do another smartphone review. Sam, where are you? I'm just playing. But according to 9 to 5 Google, the Pixel 5 is using an under-display top speaker. Think about that. A mid-range using under-the-display sound. I didn't even know that. Now, in the beginning, everybody assumed, oh, it's going to have a dual speaker. But zooming in, notice there's no gap. There's no earpiece. There's nothing here. So that's when some users went digging. And then after looking at the schematics, that's when we found out it was using an under-display technology. So to me, that was actually really cool. Taking a look, and because they are using a bottom firing speaker, but now the top one is in the display. That's very impressive. I didn't even know that was even a possibility. Google was even going to do that. So the fact that they're using an under-display speaker is really cool. So I'll give Google that. They definitely had me on that part. So I'll give it that much. All right, so we're almost done with stories, and then I'll wrap up this video. I was going to stay on here for about an hour, but I think I've covered almost everything, so we don't need to stretch it for an hour. The next two stories, Tesla. Now, I want to announce this Friday coming, next Friday, I will happily be going live with a user that is a Tesla expert, if I say so myself, and he will be doing Tesla with me. His name is Bearded Tesla Guy. I've recommended his channel in the past. I think he's a great user. I think he's a great YouTuber. And I think he makes some of the best videos you can watch about Tesla. If you're curious, if you're into that stuff. Now, I'm no expert on Tesla, although I hope to be getting my own car soon, Tesla. That's why I watch him. But according to EV West Motors, it seems like Tesla is going to be developing a new motor that is a piece of a small block V8. Now, for a lot of you, you probably don't know much about this stuff. And you're probably saying, well, what does this all mean? Well, this is called a crate engine. And by using this engine, it allows you to have engines that ships are in crates. In other words, they're interchangeable with the word motor. So an overshift can lead to it being a combustion in both the engine and the motor. And it seems that the crate motor that Tesla's working on is soon to be a small block V8. That means that not only will the V8 project keep the rear axes in line, but it will probably fit better and help driver shaft be hooked up directly to it. And this so-called Revolt Tesla crate motor only seems to be with the electric motor from Tesla that has the traditional transmission, which bolts up the engine. And of course, if I say so myself, we're talking electric here. An electric car, that's always going to be good. Now, of course, this setup is probably not going to be put into the cars right away, but taking a look at it, it really is, to me anyway, I think that this is really cool that Tesla is still figuring out ways to improve their cars, not just for the better, but for consumers and value. Because most of these cars that Tesla make, not only are they built to last, but even a Tesla that has 100,000 miles on it, that battery didn't even degrade as much as an iPhone battery can in a year. Now, granted, we use these all the time, but it's really impressive. That LS swap, they might be getting rid of it. They may be getting the LS swap, and they're probably going to use a small block V8 mount. So look out for that, guys. Tesla's making some moves. And the last story, the final story that I just wanted to talk about, and it also involves tech. Well, of course, everything here is tech anyway. But the last story, we're going to go quickly back to Apple, because if all of you haven't known, Apple's new spatial audio feature has been activated via firmware, and now you can have surround sound in your ears. Now, for those of you that don't know spatial audio, it's basically a three-dimensional trick that these earphones play by using the technology. They tune to give you a surround sound experience when watching a movie. Now, of course, Apple, we already knew AirPod Pros were getting this, but after doing some more research and digging and looking at it, what it looks like, it seems that this feature is also coming to the Beats headphones, most notably the Solo Pros, a headphone that I just recently reviewed, which, by the way, if you have not seen, I definitely encourage you to check it out. But also this feature will be coming to their new AirPod Studios. Now, as you know, those AirPod Studios look but they're supposed to be more functional than design, so they're supposed to be a lot better. And if that's what we can expect from the AirPod Studios, then by all means, count me in. Coming to the Powerbeats Pro, I'm not sure. Gotta check. I think it uses the H1 chip, so it possibly might. But we gotta see. I would doubt that it would come on this Powerbeats Pro, only because those are workout headphones. But I could be wrong. Now, of course, this is supposed to give you a Dolby Atmos surround sound feel. But the fact that Apple's adding this to their Beats and their headphones is really cool. I like spatial audio in headphones. I wished I had kept the Solo Pros long enough to try them out, but I can assume they'll probably be just as good as AirPod Pros, and I can't wait to try them out. I'll simply just say it. I can't wait. And that's it for my live episode. Now, guys, I was going to stay on here for a little longer, like I said, an hour, but I've already finished all the stories early, so we get to end early. So I appreciate everybody for stopping by. I appreciate everybody that's made it this far into the video. If you've made it this far, hashtag Metro for life. No, I'm just playing. Don't ever comment that. But hashtag Justice for Metro. That's probably a better one. And hashtag... I'll let you guys come up with that one. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you all for coming in. If you enjoyed this live stream, please make sure you hit the like button and share this out, because I want as much people. I would love to see that. I would love to see, more people get knowledge. I would love to see more people learn about this stuff, and I definitely want them not to be fooled. So definitely share it out. Definitely spread this out. There we go. Hashtag Technoid for life. There we go, Caleb. That's the way to go. Thank you all for tuning in. Stay safe, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all tomorrow on the next episode of Technoid. Take care.